we have a secretary? Is that This is the Normal Heights Community Planning Group meeting for February of 2026. Normal Heights Planning Group envisions a healthy, vibrant community that honors unceded Kumeyaay land and cares for all inhabitants. Ooh, come on. Don't go that direction. There we go. We prioritize inclusive and equitable land use, valuing people over commodification through pedestrian-friendly infrastructure, transit-oriented development, open space preservation, and affordable housing. We strive for a vibrant and sustainable neighborhood. Additionally, we promote responsible economic development that supports historic preservation, local businesses, fosters job opportunities, economic vitality of Normal Heights. The items today may be addressed out of listed order and time. In fact, we'll have a small agenda update at the start. Proceedings are recorded currently, and therefore usually within a few days of the meeting. The chat entries are not considered official communications, even if to or from board members. And please enter your name in the chat for attendance count purposes. That's handy for us. And also we have a sign up sheet for our newsletter, both for Normal Heights Normal Heights Community Planning Group and Normal Heights for Smart Growth. The rules, so we have 2 minutes per person unless extended by the chair or the agenda. Please stay on topic. Other questions can be answered offline. This is the case in our presentations. If it's a question related to our presentation and it's not really directly related to land use, it's a good idea to just pigeonhole the presenter out in the courtyard. Our civic representatives are guests and to be treated with utmost respect and try to be as factual as possible. Share the space, especially for new faces, and I do see some new faces today. And anyone may attend from anywhere in the world. And we still do not allow horses inside. We'll be modifying the agenda tonight. There was a late arrival for the project for the ADU build on Sydney Place. The owners had contacted me several weeks ago, but the city hadn't actually sent over any communication saying that they were a go. In fact, I'm going to need to catch up with you on where we do the checkbox. There we go. I have now unmuted the Zoom. We've just read the rules and updated the agenda to include the presentation on PRJ 1146967 for Sydney Place. Next up is non-agenda public comment, and we'll start with those in Zoom first. Hi, Becky. You have the floor.
Hi, yes, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I just wanted to bring to your planning group's attention an item that is on the Land Development Code update, and that's item number 20. Item 20 clarifies that the marijuana leaf symbol is prohibited on signage on buildings, on any marijuana business. And
Did we lose you for a second there?
The most important purposes of that was to protect children and youth from the exposure of this industry. So I appreciate the city reaffirming that intent through this update. However, while the storefront signage is tightly regulated, it's unfortunate that off-site advertising isn't held to the same standard. And today we have large billboards near pot shops displaying marijuana imagery, using all sorts of different cartoons and graphics and bright colors, drawing attention to residents, especially children and young adults. So I believe that this is a land use issue as well as a public health concern. And I ask, as the city continues to update the land development code, I just want to encourage this planning group to support stronger citywide standards for marijuana advertising, specifically with billboards and other off-site marketing, so that the regulations align and our shared public health priorities are also in line. So I thank you for this opportunity to speak.
Thank you. So I don't forget, there was also some changes in the work for digital billboards. The city wants to be able to convert existing billboards that are paper or vinyl to digital. And there's some legislation going through City Hall. So you might want to check on that because that should probably be included in your efforts.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Anyone else on Zoom for public comment? Then we'll move to the room. Yes.
This has been brought up several times. The street sweeping north of Adams is supposed to be done fourth Monday of every month. It hasn't been done since June after the marathon. And every month, my neighbors and I, we go out, move our cars, open up the street, put them in the driveways, and nothing happens. I've talked to the city person or persons. Every time I call, I get somebody different. And first they told me it was budgetary. There was no, the drivers, there was no equipment. Well, the driver goes up and down Adams Avenue Monday morning. So he's in the area, but they never make it to Mountain View. And now the last 3 times I've called, I've gotten no response at all. So just really FYI.
Okay. There is a map of that's published of the routes. You probably are aware of that.
Right.
So that shows where and when. Last time, Art Harrison had brought it to our attention for south of Adams, and they had just hired 2 new personnel to run the sweepers. So they were fully staffed. So they should be hitting the schedule now. And if not, we should engage Kanoa and the team up. I'll put a fire under it last time.
Well, they've not done North Mountain View since June.
Thank you.
Um,
And then we'll go down.
Susan Redlings, Norma Heights Fire Safe Council. How is everyone this evening?
Happy birthday.
Not
Not today, but like 2 days.
Coming up, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Anyway, we had a Mid-City Fire Safe Council workshop on Jan 21 at the Kroc Center that was really successful. Over 120 attendees, many of them new community members. I think the difference between that one and that had happened earlier in 2025 was that it was a warmer environment, having, questions being asked of the agencies that showed and presented. So I think that was a general, plus. So happened to be anybody here come to that workshop with, regarding, of course, Fire Safe Council, fire safe recommendations about home hardening, defensible space, etc. Well, please do pay attention if you are at all concerned about especially zone zero, which is now not in being enforced, but it is enacted. So landscapers and homeowners and others may be interested. In fact, even our pest control company is very interested in all those new requirements. But if you need any more information about that, you can look on our website, FireSafe, Normal Heights FireSafe.org, or at Kensington or Talmadge. They're excellent. We'll give you all those all that data. Anyway, just this last week at the Mid-City Fire Safe Council smaller meeting, and there's about 8 of us, going from Normal Heights to Canyon East and south to Greater Golden Hill. We're going to be given opportunities to sign up for a brand new program that involves 7 free dumpsters that are set up by the actual city fire department with all the required permitting and traffic lighting, etc. So I'm gauging interest because I'd have to vet the particular home or area or streets, and so many of us may live on a too narrow, one ingress, one egress, etc. I would like them dotted all over the district or council district area. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Canyon, but of course that's generally the focus because of its very high fire hazard severity zone reach. Once again, Embers do not discriminate by 5 miles. So anyway, I've got these little signups. I'm gonna pass this around. I think maybe if you see this up front and close and personal, maybe you might feel encouraged to sign up. I put it over here before. It's not been real effective. Other things you might be interested, that's noted right here. Any questions about any of that? Please let me know. Any questions? Greens only, greens only. So that would be those big old long palm fronds that you see when you go through your walk, your ice. A downed limb in that last big storm we had. I walk by one every day. So you can be dragged over there, dumped in there. The door closes at night, so we don't get the construction, the whatever traffic. Spring, which is like spring cleaning time, right? Something like that.
And then for what period of time would the dumpster?
Since it's such a new program, we might be able to define that. Could be a week between 2 weekends.
Okay,
I think optimally,
so a long.
at least include a weekend,
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
Okay. But that would have to be something that's kind of worked out, but I just want to gauge, because I have to vet those. I have to go and say, it has to be 16 feet wide. It has to have 13 and feet clearance vertically, that kind of thing. And it's not difficult for that agency to drop off the dumpster and pick it up, etc. But, that'd be, I think, about generally speaking, would have to happen.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, yeah, any place goes, you know, if you could think of a place, you know, put an interest right here, send that information by at Yahoo, it's normalizemsc@yahoo.com. And, anyway, let me,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thanks. I have public comment I'll make, and this is from me, not as chair, but I believe that the mayor needs to make a strong stance on how the SDPD is protecting citizens from federal agents. I'm gonna put that out there. Thank you. Yes.
I work for this nonprofit called Harmony Academy, and we developed a toolkit for families to how to talk with their children about like when you're dealing with a crisis. So with some of the things that we see happening in communities, kids might be distraught. And there's some great like little tools and tips on, you know, talking with children and how you can deal with those big feelings. And I'm happy to share that with you to share out the website. It's gonna be, we'll have a Spanish one as well. It's like a completely free resource, so figure maybe that would be worth noting and sharing out.
Yeah, let's definitely get that onto the website. Are there printed materials?
It can be printed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you. Yes.
I just wanted to make sure people are aware that MTS is currently considering fare changes and schedule changes to deal with their budget issues. And they're going to be having a community workshop on Monday, February 9th at 4305 University Avenue. I think it's from 5 to 7 p.m. And there is more information and a sign up an RSVP at midcitycan.org.
Mid-City
midcitycan.org.
Can. Okay. What's the CAN stand for?
Community Action Network.
Okay, thank you.
Very happy to do it.
Always tough questions. Okay, then no more public comment. I think we'll move into, I just wanted to ask if Nick's here for the presentation on Sydney Place. Or online. Okay, then we'll go ahead. He'll probably be here closer to 7 as we move through this. The next up is the update from the sidewalk committee. Pedestrian enablement, I'll call it. Let me go over to here. Okay, so this is the survey results. We've collected 388 locations across Normal Heights where the sidewalks are in disrepair. In the chart you'll see here, ranking on severity from 1 to 5. 1 is really of no consequence, kind of watch it. Severity 5 would be difficult or impossible to negotiate in a wheelchair. So these are, we can see that are cracking and the asphalt patches kind of correlate together, so that the city has been doing a lot of asphalt patching to prevent trip hazard whenever there's a lifted edge or something like that, or some fill in over the top of cracked sidewalks. A lot of the paving is years, if not decades old, and some of it's new and fresh. So they are actively patching, but they're not, but that's with the asphalt. I didn't see any new concrete work except work that's been done for like a remodel of a house or possibly outside of some new construction. Missing segments are of important concern because those are where you just don't have anything other than just dirt or maybe some gravel. lifted edges, those are usually correlated with the asphalt patch. Places that are sunken, and those are kind of also where pooling of water occurs. Those tended to go along with the cracking, you know, they would sort of crack and sink in the middle. Not too much, didn't see too much stuff that was sunken to the point of not being negotiable. Most of the non-negotiable areas were due to tree lift or the sidewalk just sort of tilting one direction. These are some sample photos. On the left, you can see the lift patched portions. Let me go ahead and hit the lights for the front, just for the pictures. Thanks. So these are pretty typical. One on the left is very severe because it has both the lift from the tree, it has cracking, it has asphalt patches, and it's all very sort of it's like a quilt. The one on the right is a lifted edge, kind of near, I think, Pep Boys, pretty far down into the south end. They've done a nice job with the asphalt, but that ramp there is too steep. So this is not negotiable, really. This would also be the responsibility of that commercial property owner. So just to be clear, state law, since repairs to the sidewalk, the response property, the city repairs it, it's commercial, it's the building owner. If it's residential, it's the homeowner. So I did see a lot of repairs were done consistently outside of apartment buildings because they're managed properties, and the management company would take care of leveling or sanding off those corners, and taking care of pouring new concrete. Most of the cracked failed that you see here, I was seeing outside of homes that probably need a new roof. So that is one of the things that we should be considering when we're discussing solutions, is that a lot of the homeowners just plain can't afford to fix their sidewalk if they also need to fix their roof. This one on the left is a missing section that was particularly bad because it goes straight to dirt. This is a map of the 388 locations, and this is online and linked on the Normal Heights Community Planning Group website. So you can go to the Google map and you can find a particular icon, you can click it and open it up and see if most of them will have a link to a picture, and it will have a description of what is the problem, and then also a severity rating 1 to 5. See, all right, so I'll take you over to the sidewalk survey in real time. Share that one. Okay, so does anyone have a site that's of particular interest? John, of course.
33rd and Copley.
Okay, 33rd.
33rd and Copley.
Okay, here's Copley.
I've done things in the north side of 30 of Copley, just west of 33rd.
Right on the.
In here,
No.
No,
A couple blocks.
farther up, farther up.
farther up.
Next one.
Well, too far, right there.
That's it.
That was it.
Oh,
That one, yeah.
guide me.
Up.
Going up.
30, yeah, right down. Come back down, just right
Yeah,
there.
I got it.
All right. 4902 33rd Street. This was a community submission, so we don't have a picture of it. But the comment here is patched with asphalt, very slippery and uneven ground, and the length is less than 10 feet.
I sent them pictures. I sent the city pictures.
All right. Okay,
It's been like that for 20 years. My mother fell and she died in 2007. She fell previous to her death, and that's how long it did.
Wow, okay, I'm gonna pull up one that's, that I walk past constantly. And this one has a link to a picture. When you do click the link, Google's gonna ask you if you really wanna go there, and you say yes. And then it'll take a second for it to load. And here's a lift. It's probably about 2 to 2.5 inches in height, and it's been patched with asphalt that's not negotiable for a wheelchair or a scooter. So that is linked on the website, so feel free to investigate. The form is still open for community submissions on that page too. So I guess at this point, let's, yeah, oh, sure. Back to the map. Going up into the Hinters. Okay. There's a really bad one here at the lookout, this entire stretch that overlooks the,
There's no
Canyon.
sidewalk there, that's dirt.
yeah, this is all, it's an asphalt strip now. And
No, not, oh,
this is one that the city should be taking care of.
Does the map, go which one the city would be responsible for versus not?
No, I think there's only, I think this might be the only one. And there's a little informal community built bench at one end, but it's considered open space rather than a park, but it still would be city owned, so they should be taking care of the sidewalks. Okay. Great, thank you. Other ideas? Yes,
It was my understanding that if it's like a raised by tree roots, if the tree's in the parkway, it's the city's responsibility.
I'm not sure.
Right?
yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I think that's,
I know, I live on Mead. A neighbor of mine who lives on 36th Street, 4300 block, between Elton and Mead, got a letter maybe a year or more ago. And it was kind of stupid because they had shown photos, but the photos were so outdated, they showed asphalt, which in the meantime has been removed and scraped. But anyway, where it's just not a very big raise and shaving it would do that. Can we put that on get it done? Or are they just gonna ignore it? Does anyone know what?
these are good questions. These are things
I
we
mean,
need to investigate.
Back when I was talking to that
Like,
neighbor,
who's
who was
doing the-
reading through this, and it sounded like, you know, you could put it on get it done, and it's sort of like if a block has enough things, you know, enough locations in a vicinity that it's worth the city's while to contract with somebody to come and shave a whole bunch of it at once. It's not worth their while to, you know,
Right.
come out for one here, one there, whatever.
I believe it's the streets crew that does the shaving and asphalt, because they're done consistently and they're obviously not done by the homeowners. The replacement of the concrete would be either a capital improvement project, which would have to be funded, and would have to be city property, or it would have to be at the homeowner's expense.
But I don't know what was gonna happen with that. But somebody, he said it was a city truck, the guy would park and then walk up one side and down the other, and then move his truck, walk up one side and down another. And he was spraying the edges, the raised edges and the chipped, concrete and the chipped asphalt with purple.
Interesting. I wonder if that's in advance of a get it done crew, or if it's in advance of a code citation.
I don't know, I didn't see,
Although
I didn't see it.
yeah, I haven't never seen or heard of a code citation for sidewalk repair yet. Although the city can be sued or held liable for trip and fall on a sidewalk that is non-compliant because the city did not enforce their compliance on the homeowner to repair the sidewalk. So they're still paying out millions for trip and fall. So that liability, I think, might give us some leverage for repairs because it would come under cost avoidance.
There was another neighbor of mine, he's on a corner at Wilson and Mead. And the city had not, maybe a couple years before, had replaced the ramp. Maybe it was more years, I don't know, but whatever it was, there was a problem. Somebody fell, sued him. His insurance paid part of it, the city paid part of it, and I'd have to ask him again who actually then did repair on it. I think maybe the city just put asphalt. But yeah, I mean, it's a problem. It's,
Yeah,
so when you said that the shaving might be the street crew, are you suggesting, so should I try putting it on Get It Done?
I would. The more items on get it done, then that's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil. And that's usually the first place we start with any kind of repairs is get it done. And then when we see a lot of things like this one, we'll say, hey, city, do you want us to log 388 get it done? Or would you rather work with us on a solution?
I guess I was a little hesitant after that neighbor got the letter. I thought, well, is this gonna put me on a list where then somebody's gonna come after me, or am I better off to just go find somebody who can do it,
Well, knowing how the staffing is right now at the city, code compliance is very thinly staffed, and this is probably the last thing on their minds.
Until somebody falls and sues them.
Right.
I guess.
Then it's the city attorney and they still aren't worried. Yeah.
So I think what we'd want to try to do for the sidewalks where it's a homeowner responsibility is to try to find a way to facilitate the process of getting permits and making that easier, and also trying to find ways to reduce the costs. So, I mean, I know D9 hasn't come back to us yet, but hopefully they will at some point, and we should try to, and granted, not every homeowner can even with reduced costs can afford it, and not everybody will, and that's fine. But my guess is there's at least some homeowners that if you made the process really easy and reduced the cost a little bit, they may be willing to actually, fix the sidewalk, so.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And there are organizations like Circulate San Diego and National Complete Streets. There's a lot of organizations that are promoting pedestrians because of either climate change or quality of life. There's a lot of organizations that have a stake in the game for safe sidewalks. And some of them may have grants. So that's another place where we can say, hey, our income levels are X, we have this number of items to fix, and, you know, these are our reasons why, and hopefully we can get some money. Which, as a sidebar, I did see the city planting a USDA tree in the parkway just last week, so we are getting a few trees from the tree program.
Hey, Paul,
Yes,
if I could, I keep hearing the homeowners are liable in Normal Heights for their sidewalk in front of their house, and I don't believe that is the case. And the reason I'm going to say that is because if you look at our deeds in Normal Heights, it says per the 1906 map. Now, per the 1906 map, our lots are much smaller than what you think they are. Because in 1928, the city, when they were doing their improvements, shortened all of our streets to be more narrow. So that land that then became the parking strip and the sidewalk was installed by the city in 1928. Our properties on 1906 did not include that space. We do not own that space. So I don't believe any homeowner is liable to take care of their sidewalk.
oh, interesting. My understanding is that the parcel extends to the center of the street.
It does
Being
not.
else way.
No, it goes by the 1906 map, which the 1906 map had much wider streets at the time. So that give back that they think when people say they have out into the curb, they technically don't according to their deed.
Yeah, Paul,
Interesting.
certain parts of the county,
Yeah,
your property map does go to the center of the street
yeah,
and others don't. So it's not universal.
good point. We might have some leverage there.
It's different from like zip code to zip code. It's
Yeah,
nothing universal about where your property line stops. I'm not even talking about responsibilities, but just the actual line.
where the line is.
A lot of people
Okay,
assume it's the center of the street, and that's not universal.
good to know. Okay,
Well, when I was doing research on our property up there, gentleman from the city told me that the first 15 feet from the curb to wherever 15 feet ended belonged to the city, even if it was up into your yard. And a lot of the areas in San Diego, that belonged to the city. You couldn't build on it. That's why when you drive through like North Mountain View, the houses are all set back the same distance. Now, on the other streets, the cross streets, some of the houses are almost out to the earth, but it depends on what I forget the word you use for those buildings and what the purpose was when they did the thing in 1920s, that part of those lots were designed so that the city had jurisdiction, and most of the streets, like what someone said earlier, the parking strip belongs to the city. You can put flowers on it, you can put trees on it, but it belongs to the city.
interesting. Question for Amy. Does the 1906 map show the flat outlines?
As far as
Well, you said in 1906, well, the 1906 deed had a different outline. And I was wondering if that map that you have shows where the lot line stops.
it has measurements, it does not have GPS or any kind of latitude, longitude. It has feet and inches.
Okay,
And then I'll put up the 1928 improvement map to show how they narrowed the streets at that time, which was almost 20 years after more than 20 years after the 1906 map. So if all of our deeds say, as per the 1906 map, that's what we have.
Okay. Other ideas?
I don't know how accurate this is, but underneath that very strip of between your home and the street, your sewer is your responsibility. So when we had to replace and reline our sewer from our home, we thought the city would take over at the edge of our property, which would be before the sidewalk starts. We were told, no, you have to go, you have to put, you have to, keep the rest of it all the way up to the main, which is down the center of the street. So if we needed to do more repair, but beyond our property line, it would have been on us to make it happen all the way to where the city main
Okay.
sewer line down the middle of the street. So that's what, 6 feet under, I can't recall how far, 5 feet under.
Right, it's called when it comes off the main, it's called the lateral.
Okay.
So you're saying that the homeowner is responsible for the lateral all the way to the main?
Way to the middle of the street or wherever it attaches
Yeah,
to the sewer, the
Okay.
main.
But the city will not let you dig up the street to get to the lateral.
Right.
You
Right.
you have to pay the city to do that.
okay. Sounds like that Monopoly card you get that kills you at the end. Oh, everybody plays Monopoly, that's good.
You know, the clay pipes that we all love or whatever, crumbling, and I've noticed so many have been corrected or improved or salvaged, if you want to call it. And up and down the street as I walk, many of them, so I'm sure there are plenty of people who have, you know, same testimony. Thanks.
Any other questions from the committee for our population?
I think now we're just sort of waiting on D9 and trying to connect with them because they have a lot of the information that we need.
I think we'll meet again and do another strategy session on, now that we have some data, we can start looking at clusters and other options.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
The
you.
recreation group shares the same sentiment of basically what everybody shares, like better sidewalks, walkability, be able to move a wheelchair down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I disseminated it to them and they all pretty much said the exact same thing as everyone else.
Interesting. I guess the last note was this morning was the AABA meeting over at the Rabbit Hole. It was not held here because I think, well, first of all, they were serving breakfast, but also, it was a full house at the Rabbit Hole because they were discussing parking meters.
Yeah.
And, the, statement from City of San Diego Communications Department about, parking meters. And you'll see how this ties in a second. Selected streets within Normal Heights, Kensington, and City Heights. This is a letter was sent to property owners in these areas. I didn't see a letter, but maybe there was. Parking study recently conducted by the city found several street segments in these business areas had a high average parking occupancy. And so the idea is they want to create more turn on the street so that there's more available for stopping for an hour. So somebody's not parked on in the commercial district all day. And that's the concept behind it. Devil's in the details, and a lot of that was discussed at the AABA. So the metered parking hours are going to be 8 to 8, Monday through Saturday, excluding holidays. And then this last paragraph was the most interesting. By state law, parking meter revenues must be reinvested to benefit parking and mobility related needs within the area where they were collected. These revenues will be critical to support improvements and ongoing maintenance of local infrastructure. So
Yeah.
the question is, you know, how much revenue is that? How is it distributed? How do we audit it? And what kinds of things can it be spent on? One rumor is that it can only be on the street where the parking meters are, which would be Adams Avenue only. We need it to be further away. And I think the argument is there, you get out of your car and you walk somewhere. But it does indicate that there is a revenue source once the parking meters go in. So that's something else we'll be chasing. I guess, yes.
A question about the meeting, was there any discussion about how it's gonna affect residents who live on Adams, or is not gonna be near to Adams?
Considering the audience was business owners, the general consensus was, that people will avoid meters and park more in the residential areas. And part of that is also, employees of businesses who are driving in. And so they'll have to park, in non-metered spaces if they want to be there all day.
Yeah.
Also, they're pushing to get longer duration because a hair salon appointment might be 3 hours and you can't have a 2-hour limit and force someone to run out into the street with curlers, although that would be hilarious. So, next item, project review. Please, I'll give you guys the floor. I'll bring up your presentation. Come on up and introduce yourselves.
Should we sit on?
This is our camera and audio pickup. So the sweet spot is kind of anywhere in this area. A lot of times people will stand however you're comfortable, but I think you can kind of see, if you speak, it'll pick you up and make
Okay.
you larger.
So I also have,
Yeah.
this is something you have with, from the city, right?
Yeah.
This is something we had and put together,
Do you want to,
some photographs.
you want-
Is there any way of linking it and then some
you
of
want
the,
to airdrop it?
okay,
You'll see me as Humboldt.
Nick, come here a second. I try to. Airdrop this.
Oh, yeah, did you see Humboldt on there? No?
Sorry, ready?
Try. Well, you can try this and then I can. Then once it's here, then I can bounce it. Set that one. And then. Oh, it says I need access. Choose account, continue. Oh, it's because I'm signed out of Google. Let's see. The document. Request access. Did you get a request for access to the Google Slides?
This.
Or you might have it in your email.
It's in my email. Right here. No.
You mind if I hear something about? parking?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I just wanted to point out, in addition to Adams Avenue, there's gonna be parking meters on a portion of El Cajon Boulevard as well, for those of us who are in the south part of the neighborhood. And so I believe they're gonna
Or you can
stop
choose download.
at 37th Street, so basically
Download
running
the
from
presentation
North Park
first.
and then ending at 37th Street, or right around 37th Street. So
Yeah.
Are they gonna
And then you
come
can
up the
send it
north-south streets or just,
I don't believe they're coming up the north-south streets from what I read, but I'm not positive.
only on Halloween? But that's off Adams, but not,
Yep, that's
not at all.
yeah.
Will they go down Bancroft?
Okay, and I'm gonna share it.
They have it
from
here on
mine
the list.
to Humboldt.
Is there a date that they're put in?
Now it's on
They
Humboldt.
said, that it was interesting, the letter was dated January 27th and said we wanted to give plenty of time for everyone to
I
notice.
think we're good to
It
go.
Start as early as February 1st, so. Any time.
It is the city, so I would expect it will be a while.
So let's see, it's, yeah, El Cajon Boulevard, Tenth Avenue, and Adams, it goes all the way from where Una Mas is, all the way through Kensington. Felton Street. From 150 feet north of Adams Avenue, 34th Street, 110 feet north of Adams Avenue. Holly, 100 feet north, and Park Place in Kensington. Terrace Drive, Kensington Drive, Marlborough, and 32nd, Bancroft, 33rd, 35th. Sorry, I went through this kind of fast, but yeah.
I thought they did. I saw the
Let's
list.
talk about it. I mean, they're
Is-
presenting.
Yeah, is there,
There we go.
are you finding it?
Yeah, so now we have. Okay.
Could be some
Yeah.
pictures. So my name is Patricia Shantz. I'm the homeowner at 3516 Sydney Place. And we're proposing, two ADUs that you may all be aware of. Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This all sort of came about a couple years ago, looking for sort of a multi-generational situation where my kids could continue to stay in San Diego. Being that the prices are what they are, it seemed like a feasible possibility. Nick is one of my sons who would be living in one of the ADUs. My other son, Gabe, is not here. But the two boys would be occupying the two ADUs. So we started working about 2 years ago with an architect to see what we could manage, being that we're on a hillside, having to stay between a 15-foot setback and what is open space. And this is what we came up with. It would be two ADUs following the slope of the hillside, not really visible from the street. It wouldn't have an impact on the views either from my home, which is the main house, or from the neighbors on the canyon. So I've been in the neighborhood since 1989. I moved in February 25th, so it's almost pushing 40 years now that I've been in Normal Heights. The kids were all born and raised here. It's I really love the neighborhood. And so this gives you some idea of what it's gonna appear like.
Sure.
We
Mind if I-
go
Mind
ahead.
if I pull up the other images? I have
Sure.
the rendering, which
Mhm.
I think might be interesting, and also the aerial.
Is yours the one with the really rich colored wood?
Shingles.
Yeah.
It was the shingles. Those are now removed, but.
Oh, okay, but
Yeah.
It's a house that, like a big barn on Sydney
Yeah,
Place.
it's a barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the shingles, the cedar shingles removed a couple months ago, just out of fear of fire, because they're so old and so brittle. And then replaced it with the original, what it's originally built is redwood siding, but this is called a fire blocker redwood. So now, like my house is between that and then the hardy board on the back, and it's about as fireproof, I guess, as I can make it. Also, we clear the canyon every spring.
When was the original house built, your house?
1920, so it's 106 years old now. I've had to, over the years, rebuild the foundation, which was very, very complicated, put in retaining walls, so hopefully it'll be here another 106 years. And I'm not sure it would have been, without the improvements.
this was, I thought this was pretty interesting here because of the dealing with the slope.
Right. So there will be some grading, but essentially we're following the slope. So, you know, it was on the sign that's posted, it says a 4-story. I'm sure people were alarmed by that, thinking it was gonna be some 4-story going up, but it's literally 4 stories going down. Just following the slope.
There's not gonna be a lot of extra parking. I think people pay attention to that too. The sort of the footprint of the place we're already living there.
Right,
So
there,
the parking, the height, and, you know, not planning on turning it into like a short-term Airbnb or
no,
anything like that.
no, it's for the kid, it's for the boys.
You have no parking now, right?
We have street parking and
Street
it's
parking,
probably
yeah.
150 or so feet of frontage. My property, it's a big lot. So those, it wouldn't impact the parking any more than it is already because the boys are in the house.
And here's the aerial view with the topo slopes.
Right,
And the sidewalk, which is a step out your front door.
it's right out the front
Right on
door.
the side.
It's one of the houses in Normal Heights. It's literally right on the sidewalk. There's no setback, but we had to, the rule from the city was that we did have to do a setback for the new construction. So that's
see that
where you
here.
see that. Mhm.
15 foot, yeah.
How far, it's hard to say, oh, we need bigger phones.
Yeah.
How far into the canyon and how far down does it go?
So it goes, we're from the 15-foot setback to the open space that, we had to stay away from the
Sensitive habitat.
environmentally sensitive, land, so
We're not encroaching or.
we're not on it, yeah. As far down, I mean, I only know from tree stumps, it goes down to
I think
the first tree stump.
is that the hashed out portion here, or is that the fire zone?
That's the bottom of the canyon down there.
Okay, so this is unregulated native vegetation
That's that.
to be thinned per brush management requirements. Okay.
And it's going to have irrigation, sprinklers. The landscape architect has, ground cover that he told me, George, that you cannot light this stuff, which is kind of interesting. That was, the slides that I gave you. There's a photo of the ground cover and the name of it.
Yeah, a lot of the vegetation's been pushed back.
Yeah, I clear pretty
More
much.
mostly shrubs and
Yeah.
they're
Mhm.
just for fire proofing it.
Right,
So the reason that this was deemed non-conforming was because of the 4 stories of the sensitive
I
area.
think it was the sensitive habitat and
No,
the slope.
it's the
On the
no,
slope.
it's the slope,
I see.
that threw it into
Sort
discretionary.
of both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, anytime you go, you're cutting into natural slope, and then if it's deemed an environmentally sensitive land, which is native vegetation,
Mhm.
then that's what triggers the discretionary use.
Right, that's what,
Okay.
that was
Yeah.
explained to us, yeah.
And most of that was already covered with the deck, right?
No, it's, if you go to the slides that I forwarded to you.
Let me go back to the slides.
While you're doing that, Francis had a question.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Oh, I did, I think I asked the question about that, how far down it was.
Oh, you're.
That was my-
Yeah, you can get a better picture of it.
Can I ask about, so did you do any sort of biological study, or what was the results of, in terms of your footprint?
Right.
Impacting vegetation?
Right, so we had the biologist come over early on and she said, you know, as far as she was concerned, do whatever whatever the plan was, she was fine with that. There really wasn't anything other than a lot of brush, that was of any concern.
Looks like only the first page printed
Oh,
on, so,
okay.
but that's okay. I think we're pretty familiar with what the canyons look like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so the biologist, we've had, the geologist, it's very, very stable geologically. the native formation is only 2 feet below the surface, so it's there isn't an issue there.
Ground.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess-
And we had a eucalyptus tree that I asked the biologist about. She said we'd be grateful to you if you did cut it down. She said they're dangerous. It was relatively close to the house, and in fact, the city had mentioned that you should cut it back. We did cut it down, so there isn't anything close to the house any longer. And like I said, the biologist was good with it. We've had geology, we've had civil engineering, where architecture, we're well into the project. So we're at this point now with discretionary, where we're presenting it to all of you. If you have any questions or concerns.
That's lights.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask what the status of the environmental review, CEQA?
The environmental, you mean,
California Environmental Quality Act.
okay.
Yeah, the sequel, but is
That would be a
step-
checkbox in the cellar, right?
No, from
Yes, it would be your environmental reviewer. Have they told you what kind of
No.
document? Okay.
No,
So nothing's been prepared yet?
no,
Okay.
okay. Yeah,
Where are you in the process and what's your expectation?
like step 4 of a 12-step discretionary permit, so it's like 4B and.
How many reviews in are you?
just we haven't gotten any comments back yet.
Oh, okay.
We're just
Very
waiting for our first, our first set of comments. So it should be any time now.
But if you could wave a magic wand, like if all things go as
6 months, right?
To begin
6 to 8
construction.
months to be
Oh,
done.
we still have
Oh,
structural to do. Once it comes out of discretionary, then it'll go for structural, for the foundation and the set of architectural plans, and it goes back into permitting. And then it comes out once, if we get approved, then I'm assuming we could be 4 to 6 months away even for that. And then we have to breaking ground. I don't, are you asking about when we would be breaking ground? I don't know. I don't know how long this all takes, honestly.
Neither do I, yeah.
We're
Yeah.
learning,
That's kind of why
learning along the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're learning along the way. So
How
far,
fast it takes from the city to get back to us, and it's a process.
Hurry up.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So our role as a community planning group is to compare with the community plan, which was
Right.
last updated in 1998. Is that right? 98?
Yes. 98.
Oh, holy camoly.
No Padres.
Okay, so that outlines the basic, like what our zoning is and what our expectations are for lighting levels and so on. I don't see anything that's non-conforming with the community plan, because at its face, 4 foot would be outside of it, but because it's going down
it's going
the
down.
canyon, it's similar to another project we had that Benton Place that was 2-story ADU, but but the second story was down the canyon.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's what I wanted to make sure it's going down, not 4 stories up. And I have spoken to all the neighbors, people have stopped by. The person who might be the most impacted is right next door to us, and he just thought it looked great. So we haven't had any negative feedback, at least so far, from the people who would be impacted by it.
If I may add, two things I know about that. Laurel and Ken have been friends of mine for years.
Oh, across the street, yeah.
Pre-pandemic, we used to do game nights over there all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always open parking, so my knowing of that piece of the street is, if you're parking there now,
Yeah,
I've always been able to park.
oh, yes, there's plenty of
And
parking.
not to disparage, and I really don't know who they are, but I've been told by countless people that there are some architects that live on the street that.
Carolyn
Carolyn and Randy.
at the end.
So I don't want to disparage, but that they make life very rough on people who
They're
don't
kind of,
abide by the rules.
Mayors of the
The
block.
lecture of the, So,
They make sure you have it all lined.
right, so you talk, I mean, like, we are gonna vote clearly, but if
Right.
you please them, in my mind, They're smarter than I am.
She just doesn't, Carolyn is, she's made life difficult for people who have gone, outside of permitting.
Well, I don't mean to disparage, I'm saying.
Yeah,
you
I
can
mean,
please
she
them.
just doesn't want people turning the neighborhood into a lot of conversions of garages and things, without permits. So I appreciate, you know, she's, she can be difficult, but as long as you go by the rules
Yeah.
and do it the way, you're supposed to do it, then she's fine with that, because when I put the foundation, a new foundation under the house, the third floor, which you can't see from the street, there is, because again, it's going down into canyon. I had to get, it was all permitted, and she was really pleased to know that I didn't take, even though I wasn't adding square footage, that from the beginning to end, it was all permitted. So that's her only concern, and I understand that.
Sure.
I don't have any objection. You know, she can be tough though if you don't, that's for sure. She's on the phone with the city, she'll be relentless. Yeah, my neighbors could attest to that.
Well,
Yeah,
it sounds like you've satisfied the micro level and here we are at the macro, so.
Yeah, that was my whole point.
Yeah, do we have any other questions? Otherwise, I think we should just have a motion to vote.
What do we, I mean, do we need to vote?
This would be,
To stay.
the vote would be to, approve the project
Recommend.
as being in compliance with the community plan.
Make a recommendation.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recommendation to the city to approve the plans as proposed.
there we go. That would be the exact.
That we do that.
All right,
second.
it's a move, a second, and we'll take it to a vote. And any abstains? Okay.
you're abstaining.
Any stated reason for abstaining?
I just, you know, I think it's very early days. I don't know. Like, I think there's.
Early in the process, sure.
It is early in the
Long
process.
It is
ago, and
early.
I'd like to have a chance to revisit some future time and see where, you know, I don't
Okay,
feel certain about it. Sorry.
I would say
fair enough.
typically for things coming to a vote, usually are a best practice, right? There's no hard and fast rule. You can come get your recommendation and be done tonight, but typically, sometimes you do want the environmental analysis to be done, city comments to have been resolved, et cetera. It sounds like, you know, you're on the right track, you're not impacting habitat. I don't see any concerns at this point, but that is,
Okay,
but that's your prerogative. And also props to you because you're not required to come here and get a recommendation. So I think it's great that you're here proactively doing it so early as well. So
Okay,
it's kind of the two sides of the coin, basically.
okay, so then
Then
it
we
looks
have
like
a-
we'll be coming back in the future, or?
If the motion
I
of the
think
second stand.
we have a vote of 11-1-0. You're
So
approved,
done.
Oh, okay.
Recommendation.
but if you want to come back and show us like how you've come along and lessons learned for others, you're certainly welcome here.
Okay,
Good job.
okay,
Get that for me.
But
Yeah,
that box is checked for you.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And will you email me with just so I can email you anything that comes down the pipe from the city, and I can let you know when I actually check the box, that kind of thing. Great, thank you. Next up is the approval of the January minutes. Do you have a motion? Brian moves.
Second.
My second. Do we have any comments on minutes? My only comment is that we can have less detail because we have the recording. So if you feel like it's a little burdensome, you don't have to put the transcript in there to say, watch the videos. Okay, then all in favor approving, and do we have any? Oh, I'll wait till Francis. Well, I'm sorry, I'll wait till Francis comes back.
I promise I was.
Like you moved it, like are you motion?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was
Okay.
looking at the agenda.
Is Francis in favor?
Is Francis in favor of approving the?
Oh, yes, yes, that's.
Okay, and then abstains and,
No, I'm approved.
yeah, so two abstains. Obviously, we're not here at the meeting, so that would be the reason. Moving on to elections in April. First up is identifying any open seats. Is there anyone not running? Okay, so that's one open seat, and I believe there was someone who was interested, Nina, I think her name was. Is she here or on Zoom? Okay, well, we have someone that's interested in a board seat, so that's great.
Oh, sorry,
Oh.
were we up?
Yes, hi.
I think it's me.
Would you, yes, would you introduce yourself? Please come on up. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. I live in the neighborhood, with my husband. We recently got married, so I just thought of like getting myself out here. We've attended the last couple of Thanksgiving potlucks here and did the whole neighborhood, trolley ride. So I just thought getting more involved in our local neighborhood,
Okay,
sports and things like that.
excellent. Thank you. So,
This is the first meeting, so.
right.
Nice to meet everyone.
So as of right now, I believe there'll be one open seat. And then there'll be an election, and I believe you're the only candidate so far. That could change, of course. And then.
So it's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's gotta be close. Yeah.
Who is up for reelection? Some people are on the 2-year.
It's on the website.
Didn't we also vote people in mid, and so then
We have,
they're up again?
yeah, so up for renewal is Paul, Alan, Dan, Emily, Sammy, Sierra, and Kenny.
Well, I should be too, right? It's a 2-year term, right?
You may have taken over a seat that was, that was in the mid,
Okay,
yeah.
but we'll toss it and see, because I thought that it's more than a year. Well, anyway, we'll figure it. I'll figure it out.
Okay. So, those that are renewing, get out there and raise some PAC money. And there's also, nominees, and promoting the election. So, I think we should have some flyers around the community. Kensington puts it on the Doris delis, so you can see it coming in and out. We don't really have a library here, but, I'm sure Blind Lady will be amenable to it. And maybe, the stats or something like that.
Our press has a bulletin board now.
Oh, we do?
The last time I went door to door for several blocks around my house,
Okay,
got to as many doors as I could over several weekends.
yeah. I think we're doing pretty well, because this is the first time in many, many years that we've had a full board.
Nice.
So that's good. There is also some interest from Charles over at Beacon, providing our business representation seat. So, if he shows up, we may expand the board to include a business seat, which, Scott used to hold, but Scott's busy with the ABA. Okay, I think that's everything on that. Moving on to community updates, the Ward King Cleanup and Community Garden mulching event is February 7th, 9 a.m. To noon at the Ward Canyon Park, and in the garden that's on 40th Street. There'll be some wayfinding signs to be able to direct people from the cleanup event in the park over to the garden, because they may want to be able to walk down that path and I don't want them getting lost. And then there's some other signage that's happening. The Selby team's providing seating, water, and an umbrella, a tent. San Diego Master Gardeners will be there for answering questions about how to garden and what to garden. The city will be there to talk about the mulch. And mostly what we're looking for is people to simply be involved, and there's opportunities at all levels of ability, from stripping the plastic off the cardboard, laying out the cardboard, so it's not all wheelbarrow work.
Paul,
Yes.
are you looking for people to bring tools?
The Parks and Rec is going to supply shovels and wheelbarrows, but tools are always welcome. And there are some tools that were donated to us, the condition of which varies between rusty and dangerous. I think at the high end of strenuous is bring some gloves, because there's the shed and the water tanks and things that are up at the front need to be moved to the back, so some lifting will be involved. Other than that, it's mostly just getting that pile spread out. And we also need a DJ. That's some music. Unless you know somebody who does live playing, that would be awesome. We could get live music.
What kind of music are you looking for? We have DJ friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have a little Bluetooth speaker and an iPhone.
They're
but-
vinyl record players and they live in the Normal
Holy
Heights
cow.
community too. They love going around doing music.
We have no AC power on site, so
Okay.
that's a consideration. But
Yeah, I think it would be a fun little gig for them.
yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. That, have them show up, just. I think the last event, we had a guy that was across the street, and I think he was playing a harmonica or something for us. He just showed up.
Yeah, I'll let them know the event date.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so February 7th, Saturday, February 7th. So this Saturday coming up, 9 to noon on 40th Street.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Did they do any leveling a little bit of it in there, or?
No, they
there's a
did.
bunch of potholes?
They did some unleveling with the truck that was dumping the mulch. So there's ruts where the tires went now. So it is a very uneven surface. I have work cards for distributing for various tasks, and on there it has what to watch out for. One of uneven ground is on all of the cards. But I think, and it will also bring, there'll be some N95 masks, because the dust, once you start shoveling, it'll be kind of dusty. Okay. Government representation for city is Kanoa or Fatima on? Okay. We'll see them on 7th at the garden. County? How about state? I think I saw someone in the chat said that they would. Oh. I guess Caroline is not here anymore, but she says she's the representative for Assembly Sharp Collins, District 79. And her email address was left here, Carolina Godding, Goding at asm.ca.gov. And federal representation. Local organizations, I gave the update for AABA earlier today. I did see Gary Weber there, and he gave me a quick update on El Cajon Boulevard. Basically, the plan for El Cajon Boulevard is to have destination type businesses along it. That's the plan anyway, is to have a lot of like hotel, dining, things where people would actually travel to that rather than service, the direct neighborhood, serve larger type storefronts. He said that's not coming along at any great speed. Do we have any representation from Normal Heights Community Association, Urban Art or Urban Arts?
From the community association.
Yeah.
Jim Ross spread a little survey around.
Okay.
And so most people at that meeting have done it and shared the exact sentiment that almost all the residents do. And the other two things, we have decided on a color for playground and a concept. So
Okay.
that's been moved through. It'll be blue, super big, very cool.
Okay.
And then we decided on an artist, and the artist has now created their renderings for what the big sculpture in the park will be.
Oh,
And
yes,
so that's that guy over there.
right. We have, the, Chris Fennell's concept, drawings for the sculpture. The design is, it's made of railroad ties to represent the streetcar that used to go down Adams Avenue, and they're curved into shapes that look like dogs or wolves at play, kind of tumbling. The three hoops are open, so they're kind of like a C shape. And the smallest hoop is around 4 feet in height, and then it goes 6 and 8. So they start off sort of smaller than you to go to bigger than you. Those will all be mounted onto a podium, which will have some plantings around it to discourage people from climbing on it. But he does take into account pinch points and all those kinds of things, because he knows that it's going to get climbed on. That's about all I know about it.
Just a clarifying question. So this is a new sculpture and there's gonna be a new playground at the Ward Canyon Park?
Yeah.
When will
Yeah.
that be?
When?
Yeah.
Like 18 months.
Yeah. Earliest a year.
Yeah.
But there will be a spot for 2 to 5 year olds and a spot for 6 to 12 year olds. And if there's enough money in the budget, they're gonna put in like an outside workout place for 13 into there. But that just depends if they have money.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
So, how much is it gonna cost? How is it gonna be paid for? And where's the sculpture gonna be, the sculpture? And where will it be located?
I believe the location is up in the corner
Up there
where
where
the
box
mock building
is.
used to be.
Oh, it's gonna be there.
Yeah. And then the funding?
They said they had the budget for it.
Yeah, I think it's been awarded. It's sort of like a grant.
Excuse me, Paul, this is Danielle.
Oh, hi.
Hi, I have some renderings that Jim Barras sent to everyone. I could forward them to you and then you could forward them to.
Oh, okay. I could give you screen share capability if you want to do that.
I am not technologically capable of doing that. I can send you them through email, sorry. That's the
No
most I
problem.
can
We
offer.
do have the presentation board here in the room.
You have the Parks and Rec presentation board there?
Yeah, the one that was at the meet and greet that we had on Adams Avenue. Kim brought it over here earlier today.
That's great. So does it have any artwork on there about the trolley tracks?
Yeah, and it shows the artwork. It's rendered out about 18 inches high at the top of the poster.
Okay, I'll just send you the digital and you can decide whether you want to share it or not.
Okay, great. Thank you. Adams Community Rec. I guess that was the rec. Okay, not community association, which is
Oh,
slightly
yeah,
different.
okay.
That's fine. Community association does the trolley and the bike rides. And the
My bad,
mixers.
yeah, it's for recreation.
Okay. Normal Heights for Smart Growth, mainly, we've been working on forming the 501c3 for the Community Garden Board of Directors. So the Board of Directors now exists and has full 501c status with the state and the IRS. So at this point, they are a legal entity that can enter a contract with an insurance company. And once the insurance has been purchased, they can enter into a legal contract with the city for the conditional use permit. to actually operate a garden on city-owned land. So that's where we are with the bureaucracy. The funds right now are standing at about, it costs about $375 for the registration for the 501c3. So that leaves about $1,200 in the kitty from donations from the community that'll go towards the garden. John Selby has committed $5,000 for the community garden. The water installation from the city will cost $25,000. And this Selby organization is going to front that money, the difference, the 20,000 difference as a loan, so that we can get the water in sooner than later. And then we can make up the difference with donations, plot fees, grants, to bring that money back in. So thank you, Selby team, for accelerating this project. Next up, it's Joint Mid-City Community Plan Update Committee.
Yes, the next meeting is on the 25th of February, 6 to 8 p.m. tentatively at the Kensington Community Church, but they're still confirming that, so you can walk on over if you're interested. The agenda, they will be talking and reviewing the phase 2 engagement summary. So there's been a lot of phases of engagement in this mid-city plan update. So this is phase 2. And they're also going to run through the draft mobility concepts. So exciting stuff.
Mobility concepts.
Yes.
I think
That was the 25th.
Yes, Wednesday, the 25th at 6 p.m.
Would this be a good opportunity for the sidewalk subcommittee to crash in on?
You know, I'm guessing mobility concepts is gonna be more bigger picture, like how wide are roads, where are we adding bike lanes kind of thing, but I mean, it wouldn't
Are
hurt.
they interested? Do you think they'd be interested in like a parkway down the center of Hall? Is that the kind of thing they're looking for?
Yeah,
Okay.
Does it include, does mobility include public transportation?
I don't know specifically for like, since it's this draft concept, like draft mobility concepts, like what is that?
Yeah.
In theory, when you think about what's included in a community plan, yes, it includes roadways, transit, bicycles, sidewalks. It's supposed to be kind of all inclusive in the plan, but in terms of will we specifically discuss it that night, I'm not sure. So it's hopefully, but you know, draft mobility concept is just such a, yeah, like what does that mean? I'm not quite sure.
I love the fact that draft and concept are 2 of the 3 words.
Exactly, that's why I'm like, I don't wanna make any promises that anything's on the table, but hopefully it all will be.
Okay. Historical property review.
I checked the city website earlier today and scrolled all the way back to the beginning of January and nothing came up.
Okay.
Everywhere else. No other listings from normal leads.
Francis has brought over a stack of the previous community plans. So I'll be scanning those.
From Gary.
That might be there might be something in there of interest, but I'll let you know when it's scanned up.
All right.
Utility undergrounding and street lighting ad.
Yeah, so I think what we were waiting on in terms of our next steps was a response back from the city's kind of civil engineer and estimator on what the cost for Acorn Lights would be. So this would be an overall cost as well as then how that would break down annually because it would be charged and added to property tax. So we just got that back today, so I don't think we're quite ready to kind of share the results of it, but if March or April don't have a lot of things on the agenda, we had talked about, you know, the city, we have invited them and unfortunately they don't want to attend to kind of give an undergrounding update. So Francis and I were talking about putting together our own kind of undergrounding update plus information about the Acorn Lights and then the potential cost to have Acorn Lights. And sorry, for those in the audience, this is specifically for an area in the northeastern part of the neighborhood. I can pull up a map if you're interested, but not Acorn Lights everywhere, but in the northeast area only, and only those property owners would pay for that.
Only at Jim Barras's house.
Yeah, so that's.
And that's because they're doing this undergrounding in sections. They're not doing all of them.
Yes,
At one time, they divided it into 4 sections.
yes.
It's just, they're starting there.
Yep, so for whatever reason, the northeastern portion of the neighborhood will get undergrounded first, that's funded, they've got plans, supposedly. They keep pushing out the start date, but they're going on that, and so we're trying to potentially improve the neighborhood. The property owners will vote if they want that or not, to include more decorative lighting in that area while they're tearing up the street anyway. But TBD.
Okay. I think we've run out of agenda. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks for making me work.